When the coach asked who wanted me on their team, everyone stayed silent. What I did in the final game changed everything. I wasn't bad at basketball. I was invisible at basketball. 3 years on JV, never moved up. Not because I couldn't play, but because I didn't matter enough for anyone to notice if I could. Every practice, same routine. Show up, warm up, get ignored. Coach Hollins would split us into scrimmage teams and ask captains to pick. I'd watch the room thin out until it was just me and whoever else nobody wanted. Sometimes I'd get picked last. Sometimes coach would just assign me to whichever team was short. Nobody complained when they got me. Nobody celebrated either. I was just a body filling space. The other players talked around me, passed around me, celebrated around me. I'd go entire practices without touching the ball unless it bounced off someone's hands and happened to roll my way. I told myself I didn't care. Told myself I was just there for the exercise, for college applications, for something to do after school. But I cared. I cared so much it ate at me every single night. Senior year, I almost quit. First practice, same story. Coach asked team captains to pick. Bryson Walker got first choice. He scanned the room, made eye contact with me for half a second, then looked away like he'd seen nothing. One by one, names got called. The gym emptied around me until I was standing alone while both teams pretended to count their players. Coach sighed. Bryson, take Dominic. Bryson's face twitched with annoyance. His teammate Kyle muttered something I couldn't hear, and 3 people laughed. I walked over with my head down, already knowing how this season would go, but something was different this year. There was a new assistant coach named Webb. Young guy, maybe 25, just graduated from playing college ball overseas. He watched everything without saying much. During that first scrimmage, I did what I always did. Moved without the ball, found open spaces, waited for passes that never came. After practice, Coach Webb pulled me aside. You see the floor better than anyone on this team, he said. Why don't you shoot? I told him nobody passes to me. He nodded, like that was exactly what he expected me to say. Coach Webb started working with me after regular practice, shooting drills, ball handling, reading defenses. He said I had instincts most players took years to develop, but I'd learned to make myself small because being small felt safer than being seen. He pushed me to call for the ball louder, to demand space instead of waiting for permission to exist. It felt impossible at first. Years of invisibility had trained me to disappear, but slowly something shifted. I started shooting when I was open, even if nobody passed to me the possession before. I started boxing out harder for rebounds. I started playing like I belonged there, even when nobody acted like I did. Bryson noticed, not in a good way. He started passing to me less intentionally, started calling plays that kept me out of the action. After one practice where I'd been hot from 3 but never got a single look, I confronted him. You're freezing me out on purpose. He laughed. Freezing you out? Bro, I can't freeze out someone who was never in. His boys laughed. I walked away because what else could I do? But Coach Webb saw everything. Championship game, senior year. Our school hadn't won a title in 12 years. Packed gym, college scouts in the stands, everything on the line. I sat at the end of the bench for 3 quarters, watching Bryson play hero ball. We were down 8 with 6 minutes left. Bryson was exhausted, forcing bad shots, turning the ball over. Then Bryson twisted his ankle going for a layup. He limped off the court cursing, and suddenly Coach Hollins was looking at his bench with panic in his eyes. The only guard left was me. Coach Webb leaned over and said something to Hollins. I don't know what, but Hollins pointed at me. Dominic, you're in. The gym didn't react. Nobody expected anything. I walked onto the court and Kyle muttered, we're screwed. The other team's point guard sized me up and smiled. He'd been torching Bryson all game. I was supposed to be easier. He brought the ball up court with confidence. I stayed low, watched his hips like Coach Webb taught me. He went right, I cut him off. He crossed over, I stayed with him. He pulled up for a jumper. I got a hand in his face. Missed. Our ball. I brought it up court. My hands were shaking, but my feet knew what to do. I saw an opening in the defense. Drove baseline. Kicked it out to our shooting guard. 3-pointer. Good. Down 5. Next possession, I stole the inbound pass and laid it in before anyone reacted. Down 3. Their coach called timeout. I walked to our bench and nobody would look at me. Not because they were ignoring me, because they didn't know what to say. Coach Webb just nodded. Keep going. 2 minutes left. Their point guard came at me harder. I let him drive, anticipated the pass, picked it off, coast to coast, layup, tied game. The gym was screaming now. I could hear my name being chanted by people who'd never said it before. 30 seconds left. We had the ball. Kyle set a screen for me. First time anyone had set a screen for me all season. I came off it, pump faked my defender into the air, and pulled up from 3. The ball left my hands, and the gym went silent. It rattled around the rim twice, dropped through. We won by 3. The bench erupted. Players who'd ignored me for 4 years were hugging me. Kyle was screaming in my face like we'd been brothers forever. Coach Webb found me in the chaos. That's who you've always been, he said. You just finally let them see it. I got a scholarship offer 2 weeks later from a D2 school whose scout had been in the stands, and Coach Webb still texts me before every college game to remind me I belong on that court.